Good morning, friends. My colleague in the council, Vineet ji, Satvinder ji, I think he just went out. Tanu ji, our Chief Executive and Officiating Secretary. NPS Chawla, very young, energetic, dynamic chairman of the Northern region. And friends, I am very fortunate this time that all region chairmen are so energetic and dynamic rather, and which makes President working very aggressive and fast also. So yeah, no, we had an opportunity to meet all the chairmen at our Delhi. Let me tell you one thing, all has a very good plans. Of course, my colleague Alkaji on the ICSI, Dixit ji, Sudhir Dixit ji. And again, very fortunate, we have a very good team at the head office, and all my HODs are almost 15 years plus experience. So, and friends, this time, our election was very unprecedented. And of course, like in Delhi, you also had a unprecedented elections where the Aam Aadmi Party got almost a majority of the shares. Something very similar. If you see in our central council also, most of my council colleagues are all young, and the average age of central council is less than 40 years. So you can imagine, we had last the council, where all the council members with a grey hair. This time we have all black hair. Council people. So, and all those young council members has a lot of ideas, thinking out of the box, and they wanted to do it, just tomorrow only. And sometimes, I have to guide them. It cannot be done tomorrow. There is a procedure. In ICSI, if you are doing anything, you need to have a committee deliberates, and the suggestion goes to the council, then council, deliberates, and after council, deliberates, it goes to the public. We put it in a website, for a discussion, and all this thing, takes anything from, 2 months to 6 months. So for any change, you have to wait. But let me tell you one thing: this young energetic team, is a method, regulation ki aap change kariye, So anyway, so we are working on those things because now we are in the age of internet. And certain things, we cannot do it immediately because we need to have a Ministry of Corporate Affairs approval. Friends, coming back to today's presentation on the sectoral audit. Since I acquired this position as the President of ICSI, my first task, I have not taken any other agenda except the sectoral audit. And all of us, we are aware that this time, all our members will be doing the sectoral audit for the first time. And friends, of course, this Companies Act was there for last almost more than a year now. And half of the act has already been implemented. There are a lot of challenges about interpretation, this and that. But friends, this Companies Act to evolve, of course, 1956 also took some time. And half of the act got evolved through various court decisions, Supreme Court decision, High Court decision. Something very similar, this Companies Act 2013 also will evolve over a period of time. And all of us, we agree that this new Companies Act, which is, I would say, it is very good for our professions. A lot of recognitions have been given in this Companies Act 2013. Either you take it as a KMP or a valuer or expert or liquidator, sectoral audit, annual return. See, everywhere, you require a help of either an employee company secretary or a PCS. Now earlier, we had our professional colleagues, chartered accountant firms. They used to do this company law as a side practice. But let me tell you one thing, after this 2013 Act, none of those chartered accountant firms can have this side practice. They need a full-time company secretary or rather a qualified company secretary who can help them, guide them in their day-to-day compliance with the company law. So even chartered accountant firms, they cannot function without the help of the company secretaries. Of course, good thing, bad thing. As I said, this act is evolving. Now, coming back to the sectoral audit, like at council level, we have discussed and decided that we need to do some kind of a capacity building programs, workshop, training programs, seminars. It can be half day, it can be 1 day, it can be 2 days. So, immediately we have decided that, in first half itself, the 6 months, we have more than 500 programs across country. So we immediately nominated the council members, regional chairmen, and the message has gone to even the lower chapter also that they need to have hold the various programs. This sectoral audit was a dream for many seniors, and particularly we had Mr. Vipin Acharya from the Western region. Like he was propagating this sectoral audit for a very long time, and of course various level at ministry we have represented, but it never seen the light of the day in the old Act 1956. But if you see in this 2013 Act, there is a provision for a sectoral audit, and the sectoral audit is, if somebody has gone through it, it is very exhaustive. It is very exhaustive. For example, of course, when it talks about the various laws, it also talks about the specifically applicable to the company, all laws. It also mentions whether the company has complied the listing agreement. Now, this is something which, as an ICSI, we were trying from both the exchanges, Bombay Stock Exchange and the National Stock Exchange for a very long time. But of course, we never had a chance to get this audit. But now, it has been inbuilt in MR3, where somewhere as a practicing company secretary, you are certifying that the company has complied with all the provisions of the listing agreement. Now, this is something which is, which is very exhaustive, and because see, somewhere, even though the employee company secretaries are struggling to understand what is price-sensitive information, what is insider trading, somewhere if you are a PCS, you need to do a very detailed check. Otherwise, we will get into a trouble. And of course, this is our core area. And the other thing which is inbuilt is a sectoral standard. Now, the sectoral standard also, I think all of us, it was there for a discussion on a website of ICSI. Now we have submitted to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Ministry has asked, they've asked for some clarifications. So we have submitted those also. So now we are expecting that the sectoral standard will be notified before 31st of March, so that this can be implemented from the next year, 15-16. So this is what the updates I can give you on this. The sectoral audit, since it has been discussed, deliberated for last few months, there are a lot of, I would not say confusion, but then a concern being shown by the senior member. And as a president, I have been told, Mr. Mehta, are you expanding the practice or area of company secretaries, either in the employee side or the practicing side, or you are exposing our member? You understand what I am saying? Are you exposing our young member to the ministry that they will certify to a sectoral audit, and somewhere they will get into a trap, and probably their membership will be always on at stake. So this is the concern of the seniors. At the same time, the concern of the seniors are, Mr. Mehta, how do you say that your company has complied all the laws of the land? And how do you say it is a specific applicable law to the company? Why, it should have been something specifically applicable to the industries, rather than the company. I think, friends, there are some drafting mistakes, all of us we know in the Companies Act. And we also have a slide, but I would not say it's a mistake or not. It is very clear in the MR3, it says the company has to comply with certain. There are 6 acts which I will just cover in my presentations, and specifically applicable to the company. And for the other laws, which is generally applicable to any company, either in the manufacturing or service-oriented industries. So there the practicing company secretary will have to check the legal systems. The legal systems are in place or not. Now this is what my immediate past president, Mr. R. Sridharan, has already clarified in his communication to the members. So, but again, the concern of the senior members, I've seen many of the seniors on the dais, they say how it can be, whether the Companies Act can go beyond and can write in the Act that, or rather, can it say that, the company has complied the other laws also? Now, Companies Act is going beyond, or the MR3 is going beyond Companies Act. So how can you have any act or a section which says, the other laws are also part of this Companies Act? So anyway, these are all, the concerns being shown by the members. But we at ICSI, we are very clear, and of course we also took a lot of time, and we have done some kind of exercise where all my council members, the last council member, including myself, have been to those chapters. We have done those ground level work also. We've interacted with the members at a region, at the chapter level, and then Mr. R. Sridharan has given this the interpretation. So I'll come to my presentation also once I'm through with this. Now see what as an ICSI we have done, rather we have proposed to do this. When this IFSR was introduced, there again we have given a training to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs employees. So whatever we propose, maybe once we discuss at the council level, we'll be giving a training to all the Ministry of Corporate Affairs officials who will be dealing with this particular Companies Act 2013. That is what I just spoke to Mr. Sukhan Sinha in the morning and my council member. That is why can't we give some kind of a training to the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, because tomorrow they should not hold any other view, which has been said other than the ICSI's view. So that is also we have discussed, decided today. And as Vineet also said, we also will be forming the task force, not only for the e-forms and all, but for the Companies Act, because when you apply those sections in your day-to-day practice, you always come across with some kind of a difficulties or problem. So this can be captured, and we can, as an ICSI, we can go and request the ministry to change the respective sections or the rules also. So now coming back to my presentation, of course it's not that very long, and I'm going to run through the bare sections of the Companies Act 2013. Now, of course, section 134 talks about the director's report. Okay, and if you see section 134(5)(f), it says the primary responsibility of compliance of all the laws lies with whom? With the directors. It says it's very clear the directors had devised proper systems to ensure compliance with the provisions of all laws, all applicable laws, and that such systems were adequate and operating effectively. So what even the Companies Act 2013 says, the primary responsibility of compliance of all the laws lies with the Board of Directors. Now this is very interesting, and of course this is the base of our discussion. Of course, the 204 talks about the every listed company. Now, to whom this sectoral audit is applicable? Every listed company, irrespective of their capital, or public company having 50 crores capital, turnover of 250 crores or more, they need to annex the auditor's report with the director's report. Now see. Now, coming back to the function of Company Secretary. Now, the first time in the Companies Act 2013, we have a function of Company Secretary under section 205. Now, which is very specific with what it says, to report to the board. Now, this I'm reading the 1A, which says, to report to the board about compliance with the provisions of this Act, rules made thereunder, and other laws applicable to the company. Now, what it says, the employee company secretary should report regularly to the board of directors whether the company has complied with all the provisions of the law, okay, or the systems are in place which the board of directors has made, something like this. So each and every board meeting, all the employee company secretary, they are supposed to report to the board of directors that the company is functioning properly, company is complying with all the laws, and all the listing, all the systems which has been made by the board of directors are working fine. Now here, I don't know, of course, I also qualified in the year 1991, 24 years of experience. Now, somewhere going further, it is very likely that some of the board of directors in the board meeting, and suppose tomorrow if you have any non-compliance notice to the board of directors, or directors have been penalized for any of this non-compliance, it is very likely that board of directors will say that it was the duty of company secretaries to make sure the laws are complied with. Or in case if it was not complied with, it was his duty to bring it before the board of directors. And so, now before you make me penalize the employee company secretary. Now this is what I have a fear. I mean, my fears may be wrong, but this is what I have a concern. If tomorrow you will have some kind of all directors, they will try to save their scheme, and they say I mean, by default, the Companies Act 2013 talks about the duties of the employee company secretary. Now this is probably will emerge, but very likely that this will also happen. This can also happen. Now earlier also, like many of our members used to say, Mr. Mehta, we have been asked to report to the CFOs, head of some other departments and all. See now the Companies Act 2013 itself, through the section 205, it says the company secretaries, the employee company secretary reports to the board of directors. This is what, because he has to update the board of directors about the compliance of all the laws are in place. And of course, if you even though this compliance of all the laws was there, in the clause 49 for all the listed companies. So what it was there, the board of directors shall periodically review the compliance reports of all laws applicable to the company. So it was already there, it's not that MR3 is talking something new. Then coming back to the format of MR3, now this is what, the first paragraph is very open. Like, if you read this, I'll just go through it because the whole day we are going to discuss on this MR3. It says, we have conducted the sectoral audit of the compliance of applicable statutory provisions and the adherence to the good corporate practice. Now this corporate practice, I'm reading the third line. Okay, it says, and the adherence to the good corporate practice by so-and-so company. So again, as a practicing company secretary, sometimes you have to discuss that the company is following the good corporate practice. A good corporate practice, somewhere we need to define that this is what we are building up in the guidance note that what a practicing company secretary should follow. And of course, if you read this, now the MR3 talks about the compliance of the 6 laws. One, of course, Companies Act, the whole Companies Act 2013, Security Contract Regulation Act, Depository Act. I don't know why this two, but anyway, Security Contract Regulation Act, Depositories Act, then you have a FEMA also. Again, FEMA, it talks about only 3 compliance. Because if somebody has to do the FEMA audit, it's a very huge audit. In Bombay, people charge something like 30-40 lakhs for just doing a FEMA audit. It's a very technical audit. But here in MR3, we are talking about only 3 things. What it says, to the extent of foreign direct investment in the company, and in case company has done some kind of overseas investment, and the third is an external commercial foreign. So in MR3 we are supposed to check only 3 things under the FEMA. And the fifth is SEBI regulations. Now there are something like a 6 to 7 regulations which says takeover code, insider trading. C talks about the ICDR regulation, D talks about the employee stock option scheme, E talks about the listing of debt security, F talks about the registrars to an issues and transfer agent, And G talks about the delisting of shares, H talks about the buyback of shares. So if you're a company, is a listed company, somewhere, as a practicing company secretary, you have to check whether these regulations are, of course, CB has more than some 40-50 regulations. But in MRT, we are supposed to check these regulations. Now this is where people are having some kind of a confusion, this and that. ... mention other laws as may be applicable specifically to the company. Now please read this. Now this is very interesting. ... mention the other laws as may be applicable specifically to the company. Now somewhere people say it should have been something like to the industry, specifically to the industry. But it says specifically to the company. Anyway, these are all interpretations, but the MRT is very clear. This specially, if you are in a particular industry, for example, if you are in a sugar industry, so we have some central act, we have some state acts, which is applicable to the company. So, as a practicing company secretary, since it is a sugar industry, these laws will be applicable to the sugar company. Okay, so as a practicing company secretary, I am supposed to check that also. And somewhere, if you have any kind of observations, you have to put it here. I'll just run through it. I'm not going into the very detail of this because we have other speakers also. So, what we are concluding as a company secretary, we have to check the Companies Act, Security Contract, Depository, Foreign Exchange Management Act, and SEBI. Now, the scope of the other laws as may be applicable specifically to the company. So again, what we are saying, specifically applicable to that particular industry. If you have an insurance company, then somewhere as a practicing company secretary, I am supposed to check the IRDA regulation. If it is if you are doing the audit of Airtel, it's a telecom company, somewhere we are supposed to check the TRAI regulation also, Telecom Regulatory Authority regulations also. And again, the second point it says, so what we are saying, 6 Act, then the specifically applicable to the company, and the third, what we are saying is for other laws, for example, labor laws. Now, if you have a manufacturing company or a service-oriented industry, okay, these labor laws are applicable across. Minimum Wages Act, Payment of Bonus Act, Maternity Act. So these labor laws are applicable across. These are not operational law, what we are saying. So in those cases, the practicing company secretary will have to check the systems are in place. So if I'm supposed to ask do the audit of a Airtel, for example, for a labor laws and all, I'll go and sit with the head of HR, and I'll try to satisfy myself whether the company has those proper HR systems are in place. So it is very likely that Airtel must be employing more than 500 employees or more than 1,000 employees across country. And it is very likely that somewhere they must have got one letter also that so-and-so company, you're not compliant this and that. So again, there is a question of a materiality. So there again, we have captured in our guidance now. So if it is, we have 1,000 employee, 1 employee, of course, unless and until you have a big financial implications, even you can just, mention in the observation also. So, at the same time, third, what we are saying, in case of the financial law, like tax laws and the custom, etc., the central auditor may rely on the reports given by the auditors. Of course, just to take a specific industry compliance, for example, if your company is in pharma industry, now these are some sample act which is applicable to the drug and pharmaceutical industry, drug and cosmetic act, pharmacy act, homeopathy. And I have just captured some, as I said, like, if you're in a telecom, these are the laws which are applicable to that industry. Again, some IT company, then you have a automobile company, maybe, these are all very, now insurance company, these are the act which is applicable to the insurance company. Textile company, there are so many. So, textile creates a lot of pollution and all. So, somewhere you have to comply all the laws of the textile industry. Oil and gas, now these are the laws which are applicable to the oil industry. Now see friends, again last month one of the very senior company secretary from Mumbai, he called up the head office and said, Mr. Mehta, show me one company secretary, show me one practicing company secretary who can do my company's audit, So company is something like more than 5,000 crore turnover company. And probably he was just trying to show his concern that, Mr. Mehta, I mean, is it possible for a PCS to do the audit of my company? Friends, I know it is a very challenging, and it is for the first time. And of course, the company secretary who is working in that company for more than 20-25 years, maybe he may be accustomed to handle all those laws, But if somebody, a practicing company secretary, who is not from that industry, for him it's going to be challenges. But I agree, I fully agree that first year it will be challenges for all the practicing company secretary to understand the particular industry. So I just requested that senior company secretary, sir, I understand, but somewhere you need to do the handholding. Somewhere you need to do the handholding of that practicing company secretary, because probably you also done over a period of time. It's going to be very challenging for a new practicing company secretary to go and do the audits. So immediately I understood, he was very positive, and Sumano, we spoke for almost 30-40 minutes. And I told him, sir, I'm totally aware about this. But then, immediately he was very positive and said, Mr. Mehta, don't worry, probably I'll spend some time and we'll make sure, he does the proper. See, going further, what I believe individually, once, this second audit, pass through some 3 years, 5 years, you will have many of our members, they will be industry specialists. For example, if I am doing an audit of, say, Reliance Media Network industry. Now there are some 12 acts, which is applicable to the media industry related, So we have a Cinematographic Act, this and that, So there are something like more than 10 acts which is applicable to the entertainment industry. So if I am doing it for the first time, probably I need to spend time. But next year onwards, I am supposed to just update myself on some circular notifications and just come on those acts. Okay, and the next year onwards, it will be a routine thing. So going further, what I believe that many of our practicing company secretary will be industry specialists. So going further, they have somebody, cement industry practicing company secretary specialist. So it is very likely that people will come to him for various opinions, rather than going to the law firms, because he has probably understood the whole act, and so this is what I'm very positive about this. So going further, it is very likely that our members will be industry specialists. So this will, I'm talking about 5 years down the line. Okay, so these are some of the more industries which are tobacco, then aviation industry, and sugar industry. As I said, sugar, these are the acts which is, there are more than this, So we have to comply with the central act also and state act also. Now, of course, duties of company secretaries, guidance, facilitator, approval from the board. Now, that is untrue. It's not that very important. Of course, standing committee also talks about the compliance of all the laws. And this is how this particular section has been derived from. Now, this is what the particular clause, as an ICSI, we have done a lot of homework. And this is how we have given the interpretation of this. Somewhere, if somebody has gone through the guidance note, what is the guidance note, what we are saying? Now, this are some kind of more of a disclaimer, which we have given some kind of a draft covering letter, which any of those PCS, can be attached with the second audit report. So, anyway, we have done a lot of homework on this, and this is what we also have given a specimen letter, from the management, some management representation letters before you start the second audit. I'll just run through it now because probably this PPT will be available for this sharing. Now, way forward for ICSI. Of course, it's going to be major test check for our profession. And of course, Ministry of Corporate Affairs is also very closely watching us. Now, we already made a representation that, why can't you extend it to the private limited company also? So this is what the ministry says, you wait for it, you show your performance, and probably we can extend it to the private limited company also. Okay, so ICSI, we are doing a lot of work, capacity building programs across country, dedicated emails have been created, so if anybody has any kind of a problem. So we have created various email ID where our HODs can respond immediately. FAQ we came out with. Yes, we are also coming out with the guidance now. Now, issue is about fees. about the number of audits, whether the retainer TCS can also conduct the second audit. Now, I've been to various places. Now, this was, the third question was very, very common. So, just wanted to understand from your mood, whether a practicing company secretary who's consulting their client, can he do the second audit of a same company? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah. So because of he's in touch with them, it should be permitted. That is what they are saying.
You know better about the company. He can explain.
Yeah, that is it.
Like auditors, now they are not allowed to write the books at the same time audit.
Right.
It should not be done logically.
Logically, it should not be done. Yeah. See, this is what. Yeah.
Section 144 is applicable to the sectoral auditor or not? Is that
No, it is.
Okay. See, yes.
It will be a conflict of interest.
is applicable to the
Then, so what is your answer? It should be allowed or not allowed?
It is on the institute what?
Oh, so you're not even answering. Okay.
No, it should not be allowed.
Sorry?
It should not be allowed. It is a conflict of interest.
He should not be allowed.
It's a conflict of
But
interest.
sir, these are all listed company, big companies, they already have their employee company secretaries. So if you have somebody who's advising a company, yeah, anybody? Probably, we are capturing this view, probably somewhere, we'll put it in, we have Alka madam also here. Yeah.
Can't perform like what he has referred to services. The question is coming, what would constitute management services? So if it would be better if we can define what would constitute management or consulting services, if that proposed auditor is providing that particular management services, basically which is wide open to include anything, everything. Probably in that case, he would be debarred from conducting that audit. Otherwise, as of now, because that whatever is not applicable to PCS, so probably he can be engaged directly to undertake that audit.
So he can do?
He can do, as of now.
Okay, good. See, I'm getting a very different dimension. Yeah.
I think he should not do it because
Okay.
because fine, if the company secretary is in better touch with the company and he's also missing on something which the company is not compliant with it. So in case both the company secretary and the company are missing on some certain points or certain points which they are not aware, a company secretary from outside can make them aware of it. And otherwise, all the very problems of secretarial audit is not addressed.
So he is the only better person to do the secretarial audit because secretarial audit is applicable to those company where whole-time company secretaries and
Yes, you already have an employee company secretary. Yeah.
right.
So,
और if we change this, then it will be do it कि भाई तू मेरा audit कर दे भैया तू मेरा audit कर दे करेगा तो वही.
so it should not be done.
Yeah.
That's what you are saying.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
If you have a proper checklist, full-fledged checklist after this process is involved, then that company
No, I'm not getting. So what you are saying, the checklist from the institute?
from the institute authorized checklist or audit program or something. Then
See, the basic question, if I am a practicing company secretary, can I have a client which is, with me on a retainership basis, can I do the audit of that client?
सर क्लाइंट को रिलाई उसी पे करेगा जो पीसीएस है या तो फिर इंस्टीट्यूट को एक बोर्ड बनाना चाहिए वो डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करे सबको कि 5-5 ऑडिट ये पैनल पे नहीं दैट इज द ओनली थिंग ना सर दैट इज द ओनली
Yeah, the last one. Yeah, probably some more views on this. नहीं वो तो कर रहे हैं सर अलाउड होना चाहिए if I'm a practicing company secretary and I have a client who I'm advising on a regular basis on a retainership basis. Ethically not. Okay. It should be one better. Yeah, can I have the mic please? Yeah, please Raju. Yeah.
इसमें एक तो इंडिपेंडेंस ऑन द होती है अगर आप अदर सर्विसेज देते हैं. नंबर 2 जो हेल्दी कंपटीशन है मार्केट में वो बहुत खराब होता है क्योंकि मेंबर्स इस तरीके से जाते हैं अपने पोजीशंस लेते हैं कि एज इफ वी आर गेटिंग अदर वर्क फ्रॉम द कंपनी इन द
So it should not be allowed. Okay. Yes, sir. Please, Raju.
It should obviously be allowed because there is no reason that the retired PCS should not be allowed. I am not getting what is the reason that retired PCS should not be allowed.
It should be allowed.
It should be allowed.
So,
I'm just trying to understand, the deals, if I'm taking this decision or that decision. Yeah.
Sir, I don't understand why are we going through logic. Logically, it should not be allowed. Ethically, it should not be allowed. When it's nowhere written in law, that if you are written in it, you can't conduct the secretarial audit of the company. You are not restrained. Why should I disallow it?
Okay, so my friend says, if it is not it's written in the company, of course, for the chartered accountants, there is a specific mention in the law. But if it is not written in the law, why as an institute should not allow it? That's what you wanted to say. Very good. Yeah. Alka ji, आप noting कर रहे हैं? बंद है, please. Sorry. Please use the mic.
I think there is no need to read between the lines. You should read the lines.
So what you are saying? Should be allowed.
What is required in the law, he can do. If it is not barred in the law, it is not barred.
So you agree with that gentleman, right? Yeah, please. Just one second. Sir, if you can use the mic. Sorry, we'll just discuss for 2 minutes because see, this is what emerging, Yeah.
ICAI has permitted signing of corporate governance certificate under the certificates. They have issued in their professional ethics that you should not do consultancy. So company secretaries can do certification where there is specific responsibility separate and simultaneously they can do second audit. Why I want to say auditor is giving corporate governance report certificate. That is allowed.
Okay.
So all certificates are allowed. Consultancy is not.
Certification is not a problem. Consultancy is a problem.
Acha, okay. Consultancy is a problem. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I have one suggestion. As of now, legally it is allowed. So there is no bar legally in conducting secretarial audit by a PCS who is a retainer.
Okay.
So I think to bring more clarity, institute should come up with guidelines on the things which a secretarial audit can do for the company.
Yeah, I'm just taking this platform, just to understand, because anyway, we'll be definitely
Legally there is no bar,
and I don't think there is no bar. So what you are saying?
It is allowed.
Retainership client, I can, as a practicing omniscient, I can do. Yeah, any suggestion from this side?
Sir, strategy के point पे ना consultancy जहाँ पे है वहाँ पे लाओ. Let the time come when the client start paying consultancy fees to the company secretary. अभी तक तो सब कुछ certification में देता था.
Let me know because I have to close my. Yeah, please this side.
Sir, from auditing company's viewpoint, we have also to see it is going to have more cost of the company. It will be again more and more professional. If retainer can do it and thinking there is no bar,
Okay, so what this gentleman says, company for a company also he has to deal with so many. But sir, okay, this is somewhere this view should hold. Like one of the view it is not deeper. So yeah, okay. So any other views? Probably then I can move on to some next slide. Yeah. Boli.
I just want to say for every profession there has to be some ethics.
Sir, why don't you use the mic so that your expert views can be heard by the other members also?
For every profession there has to be some ethics. And the basic ethical thing is that if I am providing certain advices on company law and other laws to them, and then how can I check my own mistakes? This is the most important, and ethics comes into existence. So ethically, if I am doing only certification, as somebody has said, just corporate governance certification or form certification, that is not a very big deal. But if I am advising on all laws on a regular retainer basis, and if I have made some mistake, I cannot check my own mistake, somebody else has to.
Okay, so Mr. Taki says if I am advising the clients on all the laws compliance, including Companies Act, blah, 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 so it should not be, and the same person does the audit, then probably there is a challenge. Yeah, last, yeah. Oh, you wanted to have a counter, okay.
Very respectively.
Just use the mic. See, sorry, I am taking a time, because see, somewhere, as I said, ICSI, it's emerging, so many things are emerging.
So most of the people are saying when you are providing consultancy,
right,
you can't go through this secretarial audit job. But when he had been giving compliance certificates under the Companies Act 1956, so we were also issuing the compliance certificates to those who
Okay, so my friend said, secretarial compliance report we did it, there was no bar in 1926, so why should be barred? But this is audit, that was a certification. Okay. You use mic, sir, use mic. So see, I think it is very likely that all those retainer or wherever I am connected allocated to a company, all those PCS probably likely to get the sectoral audit. So it should not happen that tomorrow no, the ICCI takes another different view. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Wherever it will not come into sort of a conflict situation. See, I think the individual also can take a decision. If I know that what I am doing is going to conflict with what I have done, or it's creating a situation where I am not able to come to a decision, then I should use another person. But if I am clear in my mind that what I am doing is right, and there is no conflict of interest on that, because you need always to be eating something every day. So we need to be doing our business, and it may be retailership, but it does not forbid me from doing an audit unless I get into a conflict situation. If I am able to evolve myself out of that conflict situation, I should be allowed to do the secretarial audit.
So what my senior friend says, you know, if wherever the PCS find that he is conflicting something, then he should not be doing that audit. Okay, so friends, I think good deliberation, and we have, I think, Alka Madam has noted those, captured those views.
Sir, it should be allowed as there is no bar at any.
That is what. So any new views, you know, other than this, of course, you know, it is not barred, this, that, you know, I have captured. Any different views, then probably, any kind of a different views? Yeah, okay. So we'll move on to the next. I'll come to that. I'll come to that. I have a separate slide for that. Whether the regulators would accept this, my views and also what, you know, as an ICSI, we'll be working very closely with the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. And as I said, like, you know, we'll be giving them the training to those Ministry of Corporate Affairs, rather what is ICSI views, you know, the capture and what is there in the law. The concept of materiality, 1000 employees है, एक letter आया, उसको कैसे handle करें. The change in the turnover of paid up capital during the year, अभी तक, you know, 50 crores का था, you know, company has issued a bonus during the year in terms of 50 crores. तो उसको कैसे capture करें? Need to revise the syllabus. So we have formed the committee also, because somewhere this audit has to be inbuilt in the syllabus. That also in the ICSI we have done this. Okay, so ये भी कुछ ना हम लोग consider कर रहे हैं, who can do this audit, how many numbers. There are no rules regarding the appointment and no disqualification of the secretarial audit. So somewhere there was a concern, sir, for a statutory auditors, you know, you have board has to approve and shareholders has to approve. यहाँ पर कोई भी नो आपको अपॉइंट कर सकता है, निकाल के दे सकते हैं. ICSI should make a repository for the secretarial audit report. Yes, we are doing it. Now coming back to the, I want you to hear very peacefully, so don't be so. Okay, and this is my personal view. It is not ICSI view. Let me make you explain it. Okay. Now see this. Now, if you are doing a secretarial audit of all those laws and applicable this and that, you cannot do it through those your trainings. Okay, वो जो intermediate pass वाला है वो नहीं कर सकता. You need somebody who is a qualified company secretary. So even if I say that, you know, you are hiring a, and of course, you know, it cannot be done. You know, last moment पे company आया जरा हमारे कर दो 2 दिन में. It cannot be done like this. If you are doing like this, definitely वो wholesale में मरेगा. Of course, you know, it requires a continuously check, and of course, you require somebody to go visit the clients on a quarterly basis. Okay, you know, as I said, it cannot be done in this last moment. Now, coming back to the cost again. Now, what is the cost to the practicing company secretary? As I said, you need a qualified company secretary to do this audit. अगर मैं उसका salary आजकल तो Bombay, Delhi, you know, the cost is somewhere 25-30. आप traveling पकड़ो, ये पकड़ो, वो पकड़ो, जो भी है 30,000 cost होता है. And if you see this, you know, you need an assistant also. Okay, because you know, वो अकेला जाके क्या करेगा? Because you know, you need to give one, so you need a 2-person team who can go sit with the company. That is assistant का post भी जो 5,000 जो stipend plus you know conveyance ये सब मिला के 40,000 per month. Quarterly visit अगर होता है, one visit, you know, at least required to spend 10 to 15 days. So even if I am going to the clients, हर एक quarter में मेरे को 10-15 दिन तो spend करना ही पड़ेगा. So the cost will be something like 20 to 25,000 per quarter. एक ही क्वार्टर का, please. And if I have to say 4 quarters, minimum cost will be not less than. Okay, because you know if you have a large size company, 10,000 crore turnover company, ये 2 महीना भी चल सकता है. No, it's a continuous process. Plus, you know, once you know these people they come and do the audit, Okay, as a senior, some seniors will spend some time. So his time, partner's times, okay, and the cost itself is more than minimum, I would say rather, no? वो cost तो इतना minimum 1 से 2 लाख होता है, plus infrastructure cost तो अभी मैंने count ही नहीं किया सर. So now this is what probably this is what as I said, my personal calculations and all. But this is what probably the indicative. If somebody wants to do a real audit, then definitely somebody has to go into the detail. And let me tell you one thing, my friends. Tell your clients that non-compliance also has a cost. Please understand. Because nowadays, Companies Act talks about minimum fine. पहले हम लोग जाके ROC को दे देते थे, आगे पीछे कर लेते थे, एडजस्ट कर लेते थे. But now even ROC also does not have a power. It says minimum penalty इसमें तो 1 lakh है, and the upper side is 5 lakhs. So you have to update your management that non-compliance of any of those things. See, one of the major penalty, like if anybody has forget to file those forms or any returns for more than 9 months, the penalty itself, I don't know how many of you are aware about it. 5 lakh रुपया एक डॉक्यूमेंट फाइल करने का है. If file late by almost जो आपका एक्सटेंशन ये वो करके 5 lakh रुपया पेनल्टी है. I don't know how those private limited company will survive on this. So the penalty itself is very exorbitant. And nowadays, let me tell you one thing: all those regulators are very active. Either you say Ministry of Corporate Affairs, you say SEBI. Now SEBI, I don't know. Every month कुछ ना कुछ नया आ जाता है. I don't know. लोगों को काम धंधा कुछ है नहीं. कुछ ना कुछ रेगुलेशन में नया चेंज करते रहते हैं. Now we have insider trading. Last board meeting also they came out with something, So all those professionals has to be on their toes. You cannot relax. Now our profession is very demanding. Okay, so then you have another regulators which is in making, and वो regulators 2-5 लाख तो penalty मारता ही नहीं. 100 crores, 1000 crores, कौन सा है वो regulator? CCI. आप दिल्ली वाले जल्दी जान जाते हो. Okay, Competition Commission of India, please watch out. आजकल बहुत aggressively जा रहे हैं. Okay, and please, whenever you are doing sector audit of any company, if you come across with any agreement which you believe that it is one-sided, restricted agreement, update, rather उनको जरा education करो. CCI बहुत active रहेगा. और वही जो agreement अगर CCI के हाथ में चला गया, I think God only can save you. All of us, we know that. I'll just take 1 minute and I'll close my presentation. This CCI, I just wanted to give an example. See, one fine day, one of the Delhi person, he was having the Volkswagen car. He was having a foreign company's Volkswagen car rather, and he said that I am told by the Volkswagen company that if you are doing the servicing, you have to go to the authorized service center, and if you go outside authorized service center, all those warranty guarantee lapse. पहले अगर कोई दूसरा कोई इसको टच करेगा तो we not responsible. What he says that 100 rupees का माल वो लोग 1000 रुपए में चार्ज करेंगे. So they are doing some kind of a restricted practice, unfair practice, and he has written to the Competition of Commission of India. Very simple, वो सादा पेपर में लिख के दे दिया सर. Now this is about the automobile company and particularly he written this company's name. The CCI took a note of it. And they made the party to all the automobile company. जो भी इंडिया में जो भी automobile company है सबको बुलाया और सबको उन्होंने बोला कि उनको नोटिस दिया रहा. And they have investigated for more than a year. And let me tell you one thing, they came to a conclusion with they have पूरी सब automobile company with a caught red-handed because कभी इन लोगों ने सोचा भी नहीं था कि CCI will woke up and और they found with बोलते ना रंगे हाथे पकड़ा. They had those agreements, Okay, I got the chip now, so I need to close. Yeah. So, then they got, they got, hold of those agreement copy. It's very interesting, somebody can do the Google, you'll find this whole order, very interesting. I think as a company secretary, as a corporate lawyer, you should read this. And Range Haate Pakda, that what is the penalty they have laid it? 2,550 crores. To all those automobile companies. रंगे हाथे कुछ ना ही नहीं बोल सकते हो. This is all very restrictive practice. You know, you cannot ask anybody to go to this, you know, garage only and that garage only. This says, you know, the CCSA, you cannot pressurize anybody or, you know, make compulsory that, you know, they should be doing their services from here. Anyway, what I am trying to convey, let me conclude by saying, the non-compliance cost is also has a big cost. Please understand. Okay, so you have to educate your clients. You have to tell them that this is good because, you know, it's like a health checkup. हम लोग जैसे जो भी 40 साल के ऊपर होते तो साल में एक टाइम जाते हैं. क्या ब्लड प्रेशर चेक करते हैं, आपका नो किडनी बराबर चल रही है, ये चल रही है, समथिंग वेरी सिमिलर. ये आपका 360 डिग्री चेकअप है. वंस इन ईयर हमारे पीसीएस के पास आ जाओ, आपको हेल्थ चेकअप का सर्टिफिकेट दे देंगे. आपका ब्लड प्रेशर ज्यादा है तो वो हिसाब से गोली भी लेनी पड़ेगी. So with this I conclude my presentation. Thank you very much.